In this Barefoot computing programming activity, pupils add a scoring system to the maths quiz they previously created when they were learning about selection. This activity targets the Key Stage 2 Programmer Study Statement Work with Variables and covers the concepts of variables, selection and programming. Pupils learn that variables are one way in which a computer program can use a computer's memory to store data, and that you can think of a variable like a box. So you can create and name your variables within a program, and then you can place data such as a number into the variable you have created, and it's stored in that variable as your program runs. You can look and see what data is held in the variable at any time, and also at any time you can change the data which is held in the variable. Having been introduced to the concept of variables, pupils then design the scoring system for their maths quiz. This includes explaining what variables they're going to create and use. So we can see in this example here that the program has a score and lives variable, and also the rules, the algorithm for how the value of those variables will change as the program is run. So we can see here that if the player answers a question correctly, then score increases by 1, or if the player answers the question incorrectly, then lives decrease by 1 and score decreases by 1. Once they have designed their scoring system, pupils then implement this within their maths quiz program that they created when they were learning about selection. So the first step is to create the variables pupils will need for their scoring system. So you go Data, Make a Variable, we call this one Score, click OK, and then you're given a range of commands that you can use to alter the value of that variable as the program runs. So thinking back to the algorithm on the previous slide, the first step in this scoring system is to ensure that when the program runs, score is initially set to 0. Following this, the rule that described how the score would work was that if the player answered the question correctly, then score would increase by 1. And if they answered incorrectly, score would reduce by 1. So I can use that command block again, but change that to -1. So this is an example of how pupils' completed code might look for their quiz with a scoring system. So if we run this program, we can see we're asked a question. If we get that answer correct, then we can see our score should increase by 1. Super. But if we answer incorrectly, we'll see that our score decreases by 1 and also our lives decrease by 1 as well. Pupils tackling the extension task within this activity investigate how variables can be used as part of the condition within selection commands. So they're provided with this program, which only keeps asking the player questions so long as they haven't run out of lives. And they have to explain how this is achieved.